أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ثم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي فضل ليلة الجمعة في ليالي ويومها في الأيام وجعل شهر رجب مرجبا في الشهور والأوام وشرفه بإضافة إلى ذاته تعالى للتعظيم والإكرام وسماه بأسماء سمائية معاصي السماء المآسي والأسام ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ولا نذير له ولا مثيل له شهادة أقولها ليوم القيامة ونشهد أن سيدنا وسندنا ومولانا محمدا عبده وحبيبه ورسوله أرسله الله تعالى رحمة للعالمين هو شفيع المذنبين في يوم القيامة صلى الله تعالى عليه وآله وأصحابه أزواجه ذرياته الكرام وأتباعه وخلفائه الراشدين المرشدين المهديين من بعده وأذرائه الكاملين في أهله خصوصا منهم الأئمة خلفاء رسول الله على تحقيق أمرائه المؤمنين حضرة أبي بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي ذوي القدر الجليل ورباقية الصحابة والتابعين رضوان الله تعالى عليهم أجمعين أيها المؤمنون الحاضرون واتقوا الله تعالى وأطيعون إن الله مع الذين اتقوا والذين هم محسنون قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتاب منزل على نبي المرسل وما خلقت الجن والإنس إلا ليعبدون ما أريد منهم من رزق وما أريد أن يطعمون إن الله هو الرزاق ذو القوة المتين صدق الله تعالى ربنا الكريم أيها المؤمنون الحاضرون السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Jumuah Mubarak to everyone. First Friday of Rajab, Murajabah. Imam Shaykh Abdul Haqq, Allah bless him, he said, إِنْوَ أَنَ اللَّهَ تَعَالَى أَكْرَمَهُمْ بِرَجْبِ الَّذِي هُوَ أَعْظَمُ شهور Islam, that among all the great months, this is the best one. وَزَيَّنَهُ يَوْمُهُ بِصِيَامِ وَلَيَالِهِ بِالْقِيَامِ, and to persevere or ornament the days and nights with fasting and the night with standing for prayer, with praying and raqabah and coming closer to Allah. Ruya and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, there is said from Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, في جنة نهر له يقال رجب أشد بيادا من اللبان وأهل من الأسد من صوم يوم من رجب سقاه الله من ذلك النهر صدق رسول الله that there is in Prophet says Rajab has a river in it called Rajab, whiter than milk and sweeter than honey. Whoever fasts one day of Rajab, Allah gives him to drink from that river. I was looking at ayat before. Now you can carry the whole library with you. This is equal to Library of Congress, whole university libraries, no need to go to Egypt, no need to go to Baghdad, no need to go to London. Everything is in your pocket. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, اقترب للناس حسابهم وهم في غفلة معرضون. Closer draws unto men their reckoning, yet they remain stubbornly heedless of its approach. ما يأتيهم من ذكر من ربهم محدث إذا استمعوه وهم يلعبون. Whenever there comes to him any new reminder from their Lord, they listen to it with amusement, playing around. We're busy with playing, and our death is coming closer and closer. And coming up on the number on Friday, always I'm saying, voicing, is this the last time? Is this the last one? We reach to the top. I saw videos of people giving Khutba. Allah knows, no one knows when their last moment's going to be. Allah in this world also is heading for its last moments. Prophet says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that mankind's zulm will keep getting greater and greater until a terrible reckoning is going to come. Marhabatul Kubra, the greatest war, more than all the previous wars, is coming. And awliya Allah and Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam were praying to delay it, because the heavy suffering coming on the Ummah. Holy Quran says, who wants to bring it quickly is the one not afraid of it, not in awe of the power of the Lord, asking to make it less. Holy Quran says, the hair of children will become white, and people will pass the cemetery, pass the graveyard, and say to the inhabitants, we wish we were in there with you and you were out here instead. So heavy conditions. Alhamdulillah, Allah keeping us and protecting us. We have to be thankful. All of us living now in safety. We have our stomachs full and we have everything. We have to be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeping us and protecting us. Sending mercy to the Ummati Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Saves us. Signs are coming. Grand Shaykh Abdul Dagestani, Allah bless him. He's arrogant to say we want to be here to support us, but we ask him his love. We want to shake Hashem to look after us also, as the grandfather looks after his children, grandchildren. He said that one of the signs of that Marhabatul Kubra is this Russia and coming into Turkey with hostile intent. And it's starting to come like that now. It didn't reach the proportions necessary for the big war. One day he said 2 huge armies, millions, and it's going to line up in front of each other. Yet we're not seeing that. But approaching. One crisis, one reaction. Another crisis, another reaction. A few troops here, a few troops there, Allah knows what's going to be. May Allah save us and save the people of Sham.
Amen.
Sham is the place of refuge, the place of Hijrah also. to be in safety, and now it's a place of danger. Allah save him, save us, and send Mahdi alayhi salam.
Amen.
Save the Ummati Muhammad. But before the coming of Mahdi, there has to be another one coming to fill this world with gloom. The job. In this dua, اللهم نسألك أعوذ بك من فتنة النساء وفتنة القبور وفتنة القبر وفتنة المسيح الدجال. Save us from fitna from women, and the fitna from in the grave, punishment of the grave, and the fitna at the time of Antichrist, Masih al-Dajjal. And conditions are coming towards that. People lost their way, and goodness is difficult to distinguish from badness now. And people coming into wrong ways and wrong thinking, wrong targets for their lives. Allah is reminding us through verses like the one we just read. I think closer and closer comes the reckoning while we're playing around like heedless, to make us to wake up, to refresh and renew the targets of our life. And the target is for akhirah. We're put in this world to make our akhirah the best possible, to do our best for akhirah, for ourselves, for our families, and for people as much as possible, and to keep away the anger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from ourselves and our families and from people. And Ben Shaykh and Mulana Shaykh and Mulana Shaykh Hisham, they spent their whole lives trying their best to do like that. They trained themselves, and then they helped people. So many thousands of people to be in safe ways. But mostly people, as happened before with Anbiya, with prophets, they didn't listen to them. I think only one prophet, his people listened to him. I forgot who it was. One of the prophets, the people listened. The rest, all of them rejected. 124,000, they rejected them. And every message is for a time. That's an expiration date. When you're buying stuff, food at the store or medicine, it has on an expiration date. I was always saying, why are you eating that? Expired 2007. No, it's like new. No, it's not like new. Every prophet came with a message and a time for that message to be in effect. And when the time is over, time is over. Up until that time, we can try to listen and try to mend our ways, mankind in general, individually and collectively. At the end, going to happen what happened to civilizations before. If you look on the internet, you can see so many stories of ancient civilizations. And people are imagining what happened to them, what happened to them, what happened to this one, where did these pyramids come from, where did these ruins come from, where did this, where did that. All over the world, there's remains of people that went before us and what they left behind. And some left nothing behind. Now our civilization is going to be like that also, not going forever. Allah used to advise us, build lightly in this world. It's going to finish. We're going to build a center, a masjid. He said, build it lightly. You don't need to build for 1,000 years. From wood, make something simple. Not going to be forever. Prophet said, born to die and build for destruction. Who's born is going to die, and what you build is going to be destroyed. Instead, the target is for Akhirah. He said last night that one friend of mine, he was sitting one time in a softball, in an association with Sheikh Nazim, and he said, Sheikh Hashem, to help memory to recall, he said, I was given from our Grand Sheikh a treasure chest of jewels and gold and diamonds and rubies and corals and emeralds and what you can imagine from treasure chest. Everyone likes to find the buried treasure. He said, but up until the day he was speaking, up until today, no one has ever asked me about it. He said, no one ever asked. He's sitting with a treasure chest of jewels, and no one came to ask. He said, only they're asking straw. Closer and closer comes the reckoning, and we're playing around with straw. What are those jewels? What are those treasures? It's to our akhirah, to our spiritual life. When asking for them, grant us, O our Lord, from those treasures. Dress us, crown us with those heavenly jewels, not the jewels of dunya that you pass away and goes to your heirs, or someone takes it, they bury you with it, they dig the grave and take it. Gone. If they can't get it, they cut it and take it. We're asking the one that never decays, never destroyed. Spiritual jewels. Lights, knowledge. What's that river of in Rajab, in paradise, in Rajab, whiter than milk and sweeter than honey? What's that milk and what's that honey? Paradise, we're sitting around in a room here, some honey, oh mashallah, really good. How long are we staying here? Oh, forever, mashallah. It's not paradise. It's something else is paradise. Not like this dunya. Milk and honey is knowledge and lights and levels. Vision of the Lord Almighty. Not asking for that. Asking only this dunya, and this dunya, even you take everything from dunya, is going to be finished. It's going to finish. And Allah grant us to be heedful. If you think about it, the Shaykh of Shaykh Abdul Haqq, Shaykh Sharaf al-Dagestani, his wasiyah, his will, for those who come after him, he said 3 things. He said, use this one when you pray. When you're in sajda, say, Subhana Rabbil wa bihamdihi. And the 3rd one, remember death. Remember your death several times a day. If you don't, he said, your iman, your faith is too weak to build on it. If you're not thinking for that, if your faith is for attaining a position or fame or anything, it's going to be wasted. It's going to be wasted. He said, try to make a connection between now, while we're still alive in this world, between this body and our heavenly body. نحن قدرنا بينكم الموت ونحن المسؤولين ألا نبادل أمثالكم ونمشيكم فيما لا تعلمون ولقد علمتم النشاط الأولى ولولا تذكرون. We decreed everything, and we decreed for you death, O people, O human beings, O Ummati Muhammad. What's to stop us from creating you in a new form? You already know the first form. Why you didn't think about it? You're going to go from this form to a different one. Not like this one. That should be forever. How are we dressed? That we're going to be dressed with jewels and pearls and corals and rubies, or thrown into a fire? Thrown into a situation, no good situation. Forever. You used to say if a person is sent to prison, Allah save us from that situation. He can be hopeful if he knows he's getting out at a certain time. But to be thrown and never coming out, to be hopeless, it's the worst punishment. It's the worst punishment. Ask him to be hopeful. I say, be hopeful of my mercy. Don't give up hope of Allah's mercy. And ask him to make a connection between our physical bodies and our new creation that Allah says He's going to create. It's going to be forever. To be able to reach to that. More close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, more lightened, more refreshed, more fragrant, more blessed. Make us to connect with that one. To die before you die, said Prophet, pointing to Sayyidina Abu Bakr. So they asked, I'll finish with this because it's going to be long. They asked Maulana Shaykh one time, how can you tell if you're making progress on the way? He said, look at the astronauts. They get in their ship and they go to the moon, for instance. Now they want to go to Mars also. Some say they never really went. But for this, let's say they went. As they're sitting inside the ship, there's a porthole, a window, pressurized window. They can look out. And at the beginning, when they take off, Earth is very big and Moon is small in the distance. As you go closer to the Moon, Earth becomes smaller and Moon becomes bigger. If you can see dunya and akhirah like that, you know you're making progress. If akhirah becomes bigger in your screen than dunya, you're making progress. If dunya remains bigger in your screen, no, we're still the same. May Allah save us and make us to change our thinking. This is important from inside. We have to correct ourselves and fix ourselves on the target, refresh our screens, renew our program. Go for akhirah. This world and everything in it, all these happenings is going to come to an end. Not going to go anywhere. He said they've been working on dunya since our grandfather and grandmother, Sayyidina Adam and Sayyidina Hawa. They've been working on dunya since then, and they're working on dunya now, and they're never going to finish it. They never come to the end. Think about it. I have to think about it also. These holy months are the time to get up. It's said that at the beginning of these holy months, a caller calls out in heavens, in higher worlds, oh believers, get up, come up. Rajab, Shahrullah, Shaban, month of Prophet ﷺ, Ramadan for the Ummah. This is the time for planting and plowing and watering and tending, and then Ramadan, especially the end of Ramadan, Eid for harvesting. If you come to Eid al-Fitr, and nothing through your heart, don't complain. I have nothing, no oranges, no apples, no bananas, no papayas. What you planted during Rajab, Shaban, and Ramadan. If you didn't plant, don't complain you have no harvest. Allah سأل الكلام وبلغ النظام كلام الله الملك العزيز العلام كما قال الله تبارك وتعالى في الكلام وإذا قرئ القرآن فاستمعوا له وأنصتوا لعلكم ترحمون. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والله يدعو إلى دار السلام. Allah calling us to Dar al-Salam. Dunya is never going to be Dar al-Salam. Make us to reach that Dar al-Salam. Alhamdulillah, والصلاة والسلام على رسولنا محمد وعلى وصحبه أجمعين. تعظيما للنبي وتكريما لمقامة الشان الشرفي. وقال عز وجل من قائلا مخبرا وآمرا إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد الذي بين الحرام والحلال وأفكار العرب والعجم مولانا والمولى العالمين مكرمين سيدنا بالقاسم محمد. يا أيها المشتاقون لنور الجمال وترجون شفاعة صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وآل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وآل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. وبارك اللهم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا مولانا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم اهدنا بفضلك فيما هديت وعافنا فيما عافيت وارزقنا فيما توليت وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا واصرف عنا شر ما قضيت فإنك تقضي ولا يقضى عليك وإنه لا يذل من يريد ولا يعز من هديت تبارك ربنا وتعاليت فلك الحمد ولا ما قضيت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. وصلى الله على النبي وآله وصحبه وسلم واغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. واغفر لنا ولإخواننا الذين سبقونا بالإيمان ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم يا أرحم الراحمين. وانصرنا عدونا يا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم افتح لنا أبواب السداد بأيدينا إن الله لطيف بالعباد يا غارة يا غارة الله يا غارة. Hopeless from help from people, find your help from the Ummati Muhammad ya غارة Allah. Like the eagle coming. And at least try to say the dua of the Rajab, Saint of Rajab, at least 3 times a day. In this month, make you clean like a new baby. At least you can say you planted, you plowed, you watered, you did something. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. ولذكر الله أكبر والله يعلم ما تصنعون.